Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my updated Paleozoic Frog deck. It's really good control deck. It can outgrind most decks, and it's a really fun deck. Before we get into that though, I just want to mention if you guys do want to support the channel and get more deck profiles, I do post on there every week. Every Wednesday I post a new Patreon exclusive deck profile. So yeah, check that out in the description, and let's get right into this one. So starting off with our frog monsters, we play, of course, the 3 swap frog. He's the best one to open with. You can special summon him by discarding another water monster, basically another frog monster, and then when he's summoned you'll be able to send another frog to the graveyard, which just gets all your plays going. He also, you can return a monster you control to the hand, and then you can normal summon a frog monster during your main phase. So if you happen to have him on the field, then you can, sometimes you'll summon him off of Totally Awesome or something like that. Then on your turn, you can return him to hand and then normal summon him, so you get his effect to then send another frog to the grave. So that's kind of cool. He's your best starter card for the frogs. We play 3 dupe frog. You always want to see these in combination, that's why I max out on them. This one, when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you just add a frog monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And then Ronin Toadin is actually the one you want in your graveyard. So this one, you just banish another frog monster in your graveyard and you can special summon him. So really nice. Obviously that's usually going to be the target for a swap frog, so really nice there. And that's it for our monsters. So I did have Ash Blossom in here, but through playtesting I always found, like, going second, the Ash Blossom never really helped. I would rather have just had another trap card in hand instead of that Ash Blossom, and then just had more cards to set. So yeah, I don't like playing hand traps in this deck. I just prefer playing more traps. I think it just helps the deck out more. That's just my experience with it. Also, my experience is Pot of Desires is amazing in this deck. It's never hurt me, and it's just really good. Just draw 2. There was one game where I got low on cards in the deck just because I activated and resolved 2 Pot of Desires. So that can get you down pretty quickly in card economy, but otherwise it's literally the best draw card for this deck. And then the only other spell cards we play is one that I'm really liking, and that is Fury of Kairu Shin. So this one is just, you activate it, you add a Torrential Tribute, which is amazing on its own, but then its second effect is what makes it crazy to me. If a water monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can just banish this card from your graveyard. So, activate this, search a Torrential, and on your opponent's turn, we'll say you have a Totally Awesome here, you activate this Torrential Tribute, destroying all monsters on the field, but then you activate Fury, and then your Totally Awesome is saved, and you blow up your opponent's entire board. So really crazy, really nice card. Definitely try it out, really in any water deck. Mermails can definitely play it, but yeah, I really like it in this one because Torrential is just really good. So yeah, that is our spells. Not very many, you don't need very many. There's no really like crazy power cards for frogs or Paleozoics that are spells. And then for the traps, which is most of the deck, we play, of course, those 3 Torrential Tribute. It's a must. We play, and then for the Paleozoics, we play the 3 Dinomischus. This is, in my opinion, the best one, and it can out just a lot of cards just by itself. And then 3 Candina. Just 2 Olenoides. It's not one that I felt I needed to max out on. You could always side one in or whatever, but it's just going to destroy a spell and trap, but that's good, obviously. And then I play the 1 Morella. that one is going to be able to send you another trap card from your deck to the grave, so another Paleozoic basically. It just, gets your plays going. If you don't open frogs, you ideally want to open something like this, so that you can at least get some Paleozoic traps in grave, so that you can then special summon them to get, some monsters on board. And then for other kind of normal traps, play 3 Lost Wind. Now this is kind of a staple in Paleozoic Frogs, and the main reason being that the deck really doesn't have any kind of like monster effect negate, just like built into anything. You got your, Book of Moon. You got this card that's going to just get rid of any card, or banish any card on the field. But then you really don't have anything that just like negates an effect. So Lost Wind just really helps the deck out. That's why it is, a key card and a staple in Paleozoic Frogs. And then a good out for actually a lot of cards is Storming Mirror Force. I really like it. Really, any Mirror Force would work in this deck, but Storming is nice because it doesn't destroy or anything like that. Just returns attack position monsters to your opponent's hand. So really nice. And then to search out any of these, we of course play 2 Trap Trick. I at one time was playing it at 3, but I definitely would not recommend that. Seeing multiples of this is terrible. Obviously, you can discard it off of like Dinomischus, but it's just not worth the risk of drawing multiples. So I play 2, and it's worked out wonderful. And then we need some kind of like really good negate cards. So the best ones out there are the Solemn. So we're playing 2 Strike and 2 Judgment. Honestly, even now, you can play Warning. Warning is actually very good right now, I've found. And then with all of these, we're kind of covering almost all of our bases, except we need a Floodgate. And one that I like in Paleozoic Frogs is Goes and Match. You could play Rivalry of Warlords or Goes and Match. I've had success with both of them, and then I've played Goes and Match and wanted to see Rivalry, played Rivalry, wanted to see Goes and Match. It doesn't really matter. You can play either one, whichever one you're more comfortable with, but just some type of Floodgate like that. And then obviously Imperial Order is just another blowout card against a lot of decks. And this one, playing 5 spells, you can definitely afford to play an Imperial Order. So that is the main deck. Stuck with 40, you could always go a little over, especially with those Pot of Desires, but that's what I'm playing right now. For the extra deck, of course, 3 Totally Awesome. It's the main card you want to make every turn if you can, but it gets you advantage. It obviously negates pretty much anything. It's an amazing card. And then 2 Opa Bina. This one is nice because if you have a trap card as material to this, you'll be able to add another Paleozoic trap from your deck to your hand. So that's obviously, good for advantage. It has 0 attack. So you kind of just summon it in defense. Usually you're going to make Totally Awesome, but this is a good option. If you just don't have any traps and you need them, this is a good way. And then the one, Anomalocaris. So this one, if a trap card is sent from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can activate the top card of your deck. If it's a trap card, you add it to your hand, which you have a very, very high chance of doing that with this deck. So it's kind of a cool card. It does have the attack power, so it has a 2400 attack, which sometimes is nice. It does require 3 or more level 2 monsters is the only problem with it. That's why you only play 1. You're not going to make it too often. And then we play the 1 Cat Shark, which is actually really nice for like making your Totally Awesome double attack, so you can get over some problematic monsters. That's it for the XCs that we're playing. For the links, we're playing the 1 Coral Anemone. You make it, then you special summon back any water monster with 1500 or less in your graveyard. So that's kind of cool. 1 Area, and then 1 Mistar Boy. Good for gaining you 500 attack for all your water monsters. Again, that will help you to get over certain monsters, or just potentially you just get a lot of damage on board. And then we play the IP Masquerena. And then we play also Nightmare Phoenix and Unicorn. They always come up, especially in a deck like this, where you can't always, get rid of what you need to get rid of if your opponent sets a lot of back row. So these cards will really help you. And then you could also go into Unicorn with IP Masquerena on your opponent's turn, which is sometimes cool. And then one of the best cards to make, if you can, is Avermax. Having this backed by traps is usually just a win. And you can make this off of, obviously, like IP Masquerena. And then, a couple other monsters if you have them. And then we also play the Appaloosa. You're not going into them too often. Usually it's just going to be like a totally awesome back row. But it's nice to have these options in the extra deck. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. It is a really good control deck. It just does a lot and plays a lot of traps that the current meta does not like at all. Like Torrential Tribute, your Dino-Miscus, obviously Imperial Order. Nothing likes that card. But yeah, it's a really fun deck. Try it out, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one.